Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm going to see where I'm going to go with this. It may be short or I may go into other things, but what I want to, the title I want to give this video is GMS was always right. More proof. So as you can see here, this is from Real Life Productions. I'm going to play some of this, and I slowed it down. Fair use, fair use, fair use. I guess it's Jaguar. That's how you're supposed to say it. Jaguar, not Jaguar. Jaguar. Right. On the fall of Hollywood, internet is the mark of the beast and ancient Egypt. So I was listening to this was an interview a year ago, as you can see. Now she was on Street Stars before this. She's a recurring guest, and she mentioned this had to be, I don't know, 3 years ago. I don't know. Somebody can find it. I can find it, but I don't need it right now. But she mentioned the black consciousness and Jake, the Moors and stuff, and she bigged up the Israelites. I forget exactly what she said. It's not important because I'm not dealing on that subject. But she did mention the Hebrew Israelites. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to go into it. Stop effing with those Christians. Some Christians are bugged the fuck out. And I'll show you why. And I maybe on this video. You guys engage with these crazy ass Christians, and now you're getting a lot of pushback. So if you see somebody that's a Christian, you say, "Can I ask you a question? What's your nationality? You might ask them the nationality if they're Jake, which they're going to give you the wrong answer if they don't know they're Israelite. I'm African American. I'm this. I'm a child of the universe. And you might ask them, what's your religion? And if they say Christian, you already know this ain't going nowhere. You might say, do you know about the Hebrew Israelites? And you might go the Christian route and speak about the Lord Jesus. And you might say, you might ask some questions. I'm going to get back into the main subject. You might ask some questions like, what color is Jesus? They'll get offended at that, even when you show them, woolly hair. Well, no, that represents pure. And really it says white, so he was a white man. So you're not going there and going anywhere with that person. The best thing to do is if you see somebody's a Christian, you say, we don't deal with Christians. We don't talk to Christians. We don't deal with Christians. It goes nowhere with a Christian. We don't want to debate. We don't discuss. We don't want you to say hi and God bless you because we don't want to be blessed by your God, which is a white man. Then you might say, get past the hurdle. Okay, we both believe that there's a Messiah. And you say he's white, I say he's so-called black. The next question is, who did he die for? He died for everybody, the whole world. Give me scripture, John 3:16. What does the word world mean right here? You get where I'm coming from. So it goes absolutely nowhere. At best, it's entertaining. It's 99% bullshit, but it's entertaining. Anyway, I'm going to let this play. I slowed it down. I put the closed captions, aka the subtitles. So listen up.
It's more than we trust ourselves. And it says it in the Bible. The mark beast will be in the hand or in the head. The Neuralink is a chip that gives the human brain the ability to operate and function like a computer.
You know, why can't you major camps, IUIC, ISBK, and others can't see that? She sees it.
Now, it's not easy to get. You might need $1 billion, but Elon will hook you up. You know, get you all AI ready. You don't even need a phone to make phone calls anymore. You don't have to use computers anymore. This is where the world is going. Motorola said last year, they made an announcement in March before I went into Parkland when my second ex-husband had me registered as crazy and drugged for days. Just how I don't know Tuesday.
Come on, man.
But they said it.
Again, this is fair use, fair use, fair use.
They made the announcement. Starting 2030, all cell phones will be bio inside your right hand.
Bio meaning the body. I believe that's Latin. Biometrics means body measurement. Digital fingerprint, digital palm print that you can go to Whole Foods and use your palm. Your palm is the palm print. They take initially the palm. If you say you're Jane and you use your palm, and that's not Jane's palm. They're gonna reject the payment. They're not gonna go into your account. So that's biometrics. Eye scanners, biometrics. Ultimately, they will put a chip in you, which is also biometrics. Put something being put in the body as a measuring stick. Because when you buy and sell, you're dealing with measurement, right? Money, numbers, money. Now she said Motorola, somebody from that represented Motorola, said by 2030, there's not going to be no more smartphones. Now the head, I don't know if he's president, CEO at the WEF, which is the WEF, World Economic Forum. I believe it was 2021, 22 maybe, because I think they canceled it, 2020 and 2021 or something like that. It was so long ago. And he made a statement that the CEO was, I'm positive a CEO, a president, top guy, top dog in Nokia, which they deal with phones too. And he said the same thing. He said I don't remember if he said 2030. I believe he said 2030. If you look for the video, you might be able to find it if you look hard enough. He made a statement at the WAIF. He said, I believe by 2030, he said, the all smartphones will be obsolete. Look up the word obsolete. In other words, no more. Like Blockbuster Video became obsolete because everything is streamed. Obsolete. Nobody. You can't find a video store if you tried. So he said by 2030, and that was almost 5 years ago. So he's talking in the future, 10 years from now, which is really less than 5 years from now, 4 years and change, smartphones will be obsolete. And the smartphone technology will be put inside of you as biometrics. So this is what the sister's talking about. But you ain't gonna believe it if we say it. If enough he might say it, you'll believe it. You guys are gonna get a surprise. So let me bring this back. Let me let you hear it again.
It's crazy. Maya said, or will a computer to operate.
Here we go.
The mark of the beast will be in the hand or in the head.
It's a physical thing, and she's 100% correct.
The Neuralink is a chip that gives the human brain the ability to operate and function like a computer.
And Jake, I don't see Jake getting. Jake is not going to go to voluntarily. He's in good health. She's in good health. They're not going to say, oh, let me go to the doctor or the hospital and put a chip. But they ain't going to do that. Most people will take it in the hand. The ones that will take it in the hand, then the head or the forehead or whatever inside the brain will be people that might be blind, deaf, quadriplegic, I think that's the word. Hadn't used that word. You know, when all four of your limbs are not working, you know, you're paralyzed from the neck down. But with this microchip technology, you might have a battery pack in your back, but you can walk and you can move and you can run and so forth, and you can see and you can hear and you can speak. So Jake is not going to take that. No, I ain't with that. But ultimately you'll be with the mark of the microchip in your hand. I'm going to tell you a little story. I had to renew my license, so I had to go to the DMV. Now, where I live, you got the DMV in Harlem. You had at least one DMV. I think I've been to that one years ago. In Brooklyn. I think you got one in Staten Island. I believe you only have one in the Bronx, and that's by the Bronx Zoo. And that's a madhouse. You're going to be in there all day. Go to the DMV in Harlem. You're going to be in there all day. So there was others that I went to. You got one in Yonkers, and you're there pretty much all day. And then you got Brewster, which is upstate from New York City. Hour and a half. No traffic. Hour and a half. A little less. Then you got White Plains. And then you got Peekskill. And I don't know if there's any others in that area. So I've been in the Bronx one. I've been in the Harlem one. Because you pay your tickets there. You know, your cop pull you over for a seatbelt. The same building of the DMV is where they have the court, the traffic court. So I've been in all those buildings. I've never been to the Brewster building. So I said, well, let me go. Normally I go to White Plains. It's not as busy. Might be in there for 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Sometimes it's busy. And then when it's real busy, I'll take a ride up to Peekskill. From the Bronx, Peekskill, solid. If you're driving pretty fast, get there a little less than an hour. From White Plains to Peekskill, half an hour, whatever. So anyway, everything that I got for the past, I don't know how many years, is all by mail. Re-register my car. They send you want to re-register your car. Send a check. Blah, blah, boom, bam, boom. Send it. And they send you a registration. Insurance. I don't even deal with a broker. The insurance just sends. They just send me the stuff. I give them the money. I use my account. And I'll call in. Automated system. So I haven't, the last time I've been to the DMV, please bear with me and my folly. Please bear with me. The last time I've been to the physical DMV, which is the White Plains office, was with one of the young elders, because I gave him a car, and I got another car. So I was switching the plates over. I wasn't switching. I was turning my plates in, and he was gonna register the car in his name. So I gave him the title and everything, and we both got together. And you had to wait because of the C Ragamuffin. You couldn't go inside. You had to wait on the line, and then you would kind of go in one at a time. And then it would encourage you. Well, you should have put in an appointment, and they've been saying that for the years. You got to put in an appointment from 2017. You get it in and out, But you can also wait. You get an appointment at 1 o'clock. You're there at 5 minutes to 1. They call you. You're in and out in 5-10 minutes. So I don't put in appointments with their website. So the last time I went there, I had to wait. I was there for about 45 minutes. No big deal. But other than that, everything is through the mail. So here come my renewal for light driver's license. And they send me it in the mail 2 months before it's due. And all I had to do was go to the eye doctor. I don't know how much they're going to pay, $20 to check your eyes and blah, blah. We tell you pass. But I didn't want to pay the money. So I said, let me just wait until the last minute. Because I had pretty much less than a week before my license is renewed. So I said, well, let me go to the White Plains office. I went to the damn White Plains office, and it wasn't even there. It was like new modern buildings. It was a mall. It was a bunch of shops there. They tore all that shit down, and they got new buildings there. And I said, oh, shit. So I went into the... I pulled out my smartphone. I put in DMV near me. It was in White Plains, but it was further out. And when I had to go, if you know White Plains, it's off of, what's that fucking street? You got Westchester. Then you got that other main street, Maple, I think. I think it's Maple Street. And there's a wholesale in there. There's a couple of shops in there. Raymond Flanagan, I believe. And the DMV is in there. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I go in the automated payment system to get the ticket. And I've been in that before some years ago. And when you come out, there's a Whole Foods in there. You go in there, you buy $15 or more worth of shit in Whole Food. You don't got to pay nothing. So you get the ticket, the Whole Food clerk, they stamp it, you put the ticket in, give it to the guy, you good, you free. So I'm parking the car, I'm trying to go to the DMV. I go to the DMV, there's a old-ass Jamaican security guard. They always look mean. Where you going? Where you going, son? Where you going? I said, I'm coming for the DA. He said, no, you got to have an appointment. You don't have an appointment, you can't come in. I said, damn. I thought you had a choice here. So when I left, I was lost too. When I left, I pulled up to pay it. Hopefully, if you're in and out in less than 15 minutes, you pay. No, that don't work. It's for fucking $3. Put the card in, and I'm looking for where you put the money. They said we do not accept cash. We accept Visa, MasterCard, your account, your bank accounts, put the phone up. So I said, damn, man, I don't like doing that shit. So I said, you know what, fuck it. I took my bank card out, and I had a problem. I didn't know where to put the slip in and scan this shit. And so I said, let me get out of here, man. I put the bank card in. Boom. They gave me a receipt for $3. F you and have a nice day. So I said, damn. I said, now I'll just go home. I'll go on the website. I'll set up and I'll come back and deal with this shit. No, I can't do. What else can I do? Then I said, oh yeah, I said the Pete Skill office. I said, no, I ain't going up there. That's a nice little ride. Spurs said, not going up there. Because I prayed before I went to the White Plains office. Bear with me, please. That to show you how everything has changed. Everything is digital now. Everything is digital. If I didn't have no credit cards, there was no person there at the window. I would have had to call a 911 or something to open the fucking gate. And they would say, well, wait a minute, you where's the money? I say, here's $3. We don't take money. We do not take money. Anyway, I prayed before that. I said, you know, Yahweh Shemi, I shall let everything run smooth. I don't run into any problems. And I said, damn. Went to White Plains, and that took trying to figure shit out. That was fucking 45 minutes. But anyway, I said, you know what? Let me go to the Pete Skill office. It's a nice little drive. I said, fuck it, let me go up there. And I'm thinking they're gonna make me do the appointment thing, and I gotta put in an appointment. I'm like kind of nervous. I get up there, and I go in. There's a Jake one, but she was nice. So I said, is this appointment only? She said, yeah. I said, oh, shit. And she said, no, wait a minute. She said, you don't got an appointment? Only. She pushed the thing, gave me the ticket. She said, just here, listen for your number. I said, beautiful. So I guess they do, you know. So I went up there, and I was saying they're not going to accept cash. They happen to accept cash. So that made me think. I said, man, everything is freaking digital, man. You got to be... Oh, another thing that they did, they asked you if you're going to donate your body parts. They asked you they put that voting thing. You're going to register to vote. You got to say no. Then she said, oh, what's your cell phone number? And it was always optional, right? Well, what's your cell phone number? Put the cell phone number. Gave me the ticket. Then I go up to the guy, the application. It says phone number, cell phone number is optional. Ain't optional no more. You got to give them your cell phone number. They don't ask for a regular home phone. They say, give me a goddamn cell phone number. So I said, I haven't been in the DMV really since, what was it, 2021. We're talking 4 years. Everything changed. And it's all digital. So what do you think the next step is? The last time I went there to the Pete Skill office, which was years ago, maybe 2019, they had a scanner there, but it wasn't operational. It was an Edomite guy, looked like an Edomite. So they had a what do you call that? A icon of a hand, and they had a light underneath. So I said, yeah, that's a hand scanner, right? So I asked that guy, I said, what's that? He said, that's a hand scanner. And I said, do you know about the mark? He said, oh, yeah, no. He said, that's what that is. Eventually, that's going to be a part of it. You got to get the... It's Edomite looking dude. He said, yeah, Revelation 13 and 16. I said, oh, so you know. Yeah, yeah, of course I know. Yeah, everybody going to get a chip, man. I said, you going to tell? Oh, hell no, I ain't taking no chip. So, and all that I'm saying is, I was fucking low. It was like I was what's this guy, Rip Van Winkle, man. I slept for 20 years and I woke up and everything's different. 4 years, 5 years, everything fucking different. I said, am I on the when I went to the White Plains office, I said, am I on the fucking right block? Everything's moving quick. And everything's gonna be the term is the Internet of Things. I call it ultimately, when you get the chip, it's going to be, I call it the Internet of all things. because you're going to be a part of that thing, that whole system. And like I said, if I didn't have a credit card, I would have to sit there, call somebody, have somebody come get me, and they're going to argue with me. Sir, you didn't see the sign. We don't accept cash. I don't care if you give us $30. We do not accept cash. You got to. I said, God damn. So not, I should say slowly, but quickly, things are changing, man. I haven't been around in certain places, man. I'm a creature of habit. I don't go out far out. But I said it was like a whole. Like I said, I thought about. I was gonna say Rumpelstiltskin. Rip Van Winkle, man. That nigga slept for 20 years and he woke up, everything was different. So I'm Rip Van Winkle, brother. Who was you in the previous life, Tahar? People say you used to say you was Paul. I said, well, I'm Rip Van Winkle, coming back. Anyway, I said all that to show you that it makes all the sense in the world, and it's called gradualism. Gradualism. Let me see something. Gradualism in technology. The hell? Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Gradualism. 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 Try one more time. Gradualism. Gradualism. I could have spelled it out.
According to Wikipedia, gradualism, from the Latin gradus, is a hypothesis, a theory or a tenet assuming that change comes about gradually or that variation is gradual in nature and happens over time as opposed to in large steps.
Thank you. Oh, there it is, gradualism in government. Gradualism in government is a political philosophy of seeking social and political change through small, discrete, and measured steps rather than through sudden, radical transformation like revolutions or uprising. So the mark of the beast is a gradual thing. The fact that I couldn't, that parking lot, I couldn't get out of there unless I had an account. Your card is digital money. Once you put dollars or check into your bank kiosk, it converts to digital money. It is characterized by a step-by-step approach implemented through reforms within existing institutions with the aim of achieving significant societal shift over time. So this is a gradual thing. That MOTB, the mark of the beast, is a gradual thing. Let me do this. So you guys out there that are Israelites, you just read the Bible. You hit scriptures and you get the Bible. You guys do not filter the real world through the spiritual filter, which is the scriptures. That's why we here at GMS can see it and others can't. Gradualism in technology is the idea that major technological change occurs through a series of small, that's the same definition for government, small incremental improvements rather than, and they always push the new technology, this is more convenient for you, which in a lot of ways it is. through like going through a toll road, it's a lot easier because what they do is there's certain toll roads. They said if you don't have a easy pass, it's $8.50. If you do have an easy pass, it's $3. People are going to say, I ain't using the tech. You don't want to pay that extra $5.50. So they're going to make you get it, or you're going to be out of the system. You're going to be off the grid. It's a small incremental improvements rather than through radical or disruptive transformation. The principle, also known as incremental innovations, emphasizes a steady, continuous process of evolution that builds upon existing products, services, and systems. This gradual approach stands in contrast to the concept of punctuated equilibrium. I should look that up. Which argues that a long period, well, it's giving me the definition, which argues that long periods of relative technological stability are interrupted by sudden, rapid bursts of radical change. Both concepts are, let me open this up, used to describe and analyze technological developments. Right? Let me look up the word equilibrium. There's a movie called, which I never watched the movie. I got the DVD. I never watched it. It's kind of like the Matrix. If you like the Matrix, you'll like the movie Equilibrium. See, that's the movie. Tay Diggs is in it, and what's this guy? The Batman guy. Okay. Equilibrium, a state in which opposing forces or influences are balanced. Okay, good. Let's come on back.
Now, it's not easy to get. You might need $1 billion, but Elon will hook you up. Get you all AI ready. You don't even need a phone to make phone calls anymore. You don't have to use computers anymore. This is where the world is going. Motorola said last year, they made an announcement in March before I went into Parkland when my second ex-husband had me registered as crazy and drugged for days. Just how I don't know too, see. But they said it. They made the announcement. Starting 2030, all cell phones will be bio inside your right hand. Chip in your head, chip in your hand. Technology is the mark of the beast. It's very simple.
Technology is the mark of the beast. It's very simple. And it's coming incrementally.
And yet people won't accept it. It says in the Bible.
Yeah, you got them camps. They don't accept it, or they've been paid off to deceive the people. We don't know. We'll find out when I guess Trump will make the announcement that everybody get chipped. This whole thing with the military going to these different states, that's just a cover for what's the name of Palantir, is it? I'm going to get into that too, where they don't need troops and police to watch over the city. That technology will watch over the city. I'm going to get into that too.
An intelligent man will know the number of man is 666. for whatever reason.
Everything that you purchase at a store that's scanned, everything is scanned now, right? You don't punch in numbers like the old school days. Everything has a barcode. You know to look at the barcode. You flip. There's a plastic, some chicken, cold chicken that you got to go home and cook. Tyson chicken. Sometimes you got to flip. You got to find the barcode and you hear the beep. That barcode is 666. You got 3 elongated bars on either end and 3. I'm sorry. You got 3 elongated bars. 2 line bar on the right side, 2 line bar on the left side, 2 line bar in the middle. The computer reads it as 666. Now they're saying, oh, it doesn't mean that. Yes, it does. I'm not gonna go into that. I can prove. I can show you that it means that. But that's another video.
Reason humanity wants to believe that the only language that ever existed was the English language. There were a lot of languages that existed long before English.
Okay, so she said what she said. You got it? There's a cut from a bigger show. The bigger show is, matter of fact, let me do this. I'll give you the bigger show. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Where am I? Nope, I don't want this. Let me come on back. Oh, she was also saying on the same, this is it. Is this it? A year ago I was there. Yeah, this was it. This was it. I was watching it last night. So they cut it, real life cut it down into a 10-minute clip. You get more views, you get more money. But that's the actual interview. She also says in this video that her being in the music business, those singers, they're all fucking related. They're all cousins and nephews and uncles. They're all fucking related. For the most part. For the most part. So this is the actual whole video. I mean the video. Okay, so now let me do this. Give me a second here. Shalom, giving all praise. Okay, I don't need this no more. Bear me for a minute, y'all. Is this my, let me see, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I believe I got it. Okay, so let me see here. This is, okay, I believe this is it.
Good morning, Chad. I am really concerned.
Okay, so I want to play from this guy here. This is also fair use, fair use. I wanted to go into, you know what? Let me do this here. Let me do it this way. I just want to get right into it. Bear with me for a minute, y'all.
To the United States of America, following our Constitution and making this country, he says that it's his life's mission to make this country safe.
Okay, so listen up. Fair use, fair use, fair use. He's going to go into, I didn't watch even the whole thing, but what he said, I had to go. So it says here, red alert, get out now. Trump deploys Department of Conflict, D.C. under martial order, Palantir danger. That's what I wanted to get into. Now they were talking about changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War. War is different than defense. You know, you go to war because you defend yourself. The Department of War, meaning you're waging war against other sovereign nations. So let's see if I catch it right here. I'm 2 minutes and 23 seconds in.
Make this country healthy and make America the great as it once was. All right, let's move forward, see what else we've got going on here. Here's
Okay, so you have, I got to watch this. Crazed Trump, and he believes he's going to die. There's doctors that he has a patch on his great, like a purple, gray, greenish patch on his hand, and his ankles are swollen. That's edema. And a lot of doctors are saying patients that have those things usually kick the bucket inside of 6 months to 9 months. And he's been talking about he wants to do the right thing so he can go to heaven. He is going to go to heaven. He's going to go to the spiritual realm. You'll be all right. You will go to heaven. But what are you going to do when you come back? That's what you got to worry about. So this is crazy. And he's doing some mad shit. He's doing what Nero would do. Crazed. And you heard it first. We here at Great Mill. So actually for myself, I'm the one that said that this man is Nero. I'm the one that said it. So if you want to give somebody credit, give it to myself. Do Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Crazed Trump plans invasion of cities by U.S. military. Now what? Well, that's martial law. The emperor has no clothing. Okay, so let me go ahead and...
J.D. Vance asking the important questions.
Roughshod over their cities and have been for decades. Why are Democrat governors angrier about federal law enforcement helping clean up their streets than they...
Because that's martial law. You know, that turns into martial law. That's a police state. That's draconian laws. You know, it's one thing to send in the troops to clear crime, but then they're going to stick around. That's an invasion, and it goes against the Posse Comitatus Act, which is constitutional. Can't have military, deal with the citizenry.
They are about the fact that those streets need to be cleaned up to begin with.
Now that's an important question right there, and you see on Donald Trump's left, that's the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. Now Donald Trump in this same meeting says that the Department of Defense should be reclassified as the Department of War. They have openly said that Pete Hegseth has come into this position as a wartime leader, that Donald Trump will be a wartime leader, and that J.D. Vance, his right-hand man, the vice president to the country, will pick up and follow through with that if necessary, should anything happen to Donald Trump. Now, they understand fully that there are attempts on their lives, probably on a weekly basis.
Who's stupid enough to attempt to kill him? Come on.
We've seen it very out in the open against Trump. We still have politicians calling him a dictator. Same sentence, saying that every dictator should be, brought up in a tree time environment, should basically be smoked off of this earth.
It shows a real sickness in the head. And I agree with the President of the United States. I think most Democrats, rank and file, nobody likes crime. Republicans don't
What do you think?
like crime. Democrats don't like crime. Independents don't
Fraud is crime.
like crime. Why are Democratic governors doing everything in their power to make crime easier to do in their cities? It doesn't make an ounce of sense to me, but...
So those are some...
Like I said, they're afraid of a police state, martial law. That's martial law. Martial law. Let's look up martial law. Martial law definition. Military government involving the suspension of ordinary law. What's the ordinary law? The Constitution. Martial law is when they take the Constitution, they put it in the back. Martial law. That's why the government is they can do away with. They can arrest the governor because it's under martial law. The Congress. They don't got to listen to Congress. Martial law is a different set of laws. It's wartime laws. The Constitution is either suspended or done away with. It's a martial law. Martial law is a replacement of civilian government. That's constitutional government. That's why the governors and the mayors are saying no. By military rule and suspension of civilian legal process, which is Constitution, right? You have no habeas corpus. Have the body. If they arrest you, you got a lawyer that says what's the reason why you arrest him, and you make bail. When they suspend habeas corpus, that means they can just lock you up somewhere. That's why he's sending people to Uganda and Venezuela and San Salvador, and they got these military-style prisons. Martial law can continue for a specified amount of time or indefinitely. That means until we get tired of bringing them troops in. Specific time could be the next 10 years, the next 3 months, the next 5 months. And standard civil liberties may be suspended for as long as martial law continues. So if they declare martial law for the next 10 years, guess what? The Constitution is in the garbage for the next 10 years. So now you got to think of Jacob's trouble, right? 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16. Just to name a few precepts. They shall cast a flood. The dragon shall cast a flood. In Revelation 12, that's a military overwhelming you. And they're trained to kill. Okay, let me see. They're not trained. The military's not trained to bring order. They're trained to kill. Blow up shit and kill people. Government leaders set up government, not military men. They kill. Okay, so let me come on back.
Some important questions and topics being brought up by J.D. Vance now.
Okay, this is what I want. Palantir's tools pose an invisible danger we are just beginning to comprehend. Weaponized AI surveillance. I can hardly read this. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit clearer. Weaponized AI surveillance platforms threaten human rights around the world. Here's how they work. Palantir's tools, and that ties in with the whole mark of the beast microchip system. Palantir's tools pose an invisible danger we are just beginning to comprehend. You're going to have a situation where you go into stores, let's say Jake, they ransack a store and they rob shit, but you're in the system, you got a chip. So they know who went in the store, what time you went in the store, what aisle did you go in the store, what did you grab. So whatever you got, that Palantir is going to follow you home, and they're going to go to your house, and they're going to find all the shit that you stole. and then they're just going to throw you in a damn concentration camp. If it was up to Trump, he would put damn near everybody in a concentration. He said make life easy for him. Just lock up every fucking body. He's turned this country into a prison planet, and everybody's going to get chipped. So some of us will die by guillotine.
Palantir, that is the group that has been given the go-ahead to build an artificial AI tracking and surveillance technology that will be directly integrated into the U.S. government as a whole. This is
so when he bring the troop and you want the troops out, we're going to set up the Palantir system, and nobody can rob you no more. Hey, if somebody pulls out a 9 on somebody and takes a guy's watch, they say, okay, this is this guy, Joe Blow. He pulled out a registered 9 or stolen 9, because everything's going to be registered. They're going to know exactly where you're going, what you have in your pocket. They know how much money you got, how much money that you got in your account. And this guy robbed this dude, and he went to his house. The Palantir is going to find where you are. They're going to know where you hid the shit, and they're going to put you in a concentration camp. So it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse before it gets worse. So it's not just, oh, we're going to give you a chip and everything. No, it's a whole system. It's a whole system. You go through a red light now, they take a picture, they send it to you in the mail. Oh, we got a picture, you going through the red light. You in the 5-mile-an-hour zone. You were going 70. You can't dispute it. You don't have to go to court. You can't say not guilty because they got you on camera. You go through the toll, right? You don't pay the toll. You don't have an easy pass. They send you the bill. And then you don't pay it in a certain amount of time. They add interest to it.
Is the technology that's going...
And people don't know what's coming, but you don't listen to GMS. But then when it comes, you're not going to know what to do. You're going to question whether your leader really has the truth or not. You are going to be shaken up. Shooken up.
Going to watch every move that you make, preppers. It's going to watch every purchase you make. It's going to watch every foot that you travel in your city.
Did not I just say that? When you say, I wasn't there, I didn't do it. Nope. We tracked you. You walked down the street. You went up that block. You went to this woman's house. That's your ex-girlfriend. You're saying that you didn't do nothing. We got you in there. We got DNA in the house. There was a camera in her room, and your face is on it, and they're going to scan it and take a snapshot of your face. They showed you that in the what do you call it? A Terminator series, where there was a drone that took one of the characters, held his face and took a picture of him. What they call that, Skynet. That's what they call it. So it's not just, I'm going to put a chip in you and no, you're going to be a part of that whole digital grid. Meanwhile, you guys want to have a debate with Christians and Muslims. Fuck Christians and Muslims, man.
Using aggregated cell phone data, there's really no chance.
That's why when I went in there, she gave me the ticket. What's your cell phone number? Bah, 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 bah. Went up to the counter. Oh, you forgot your put your number. A couple years, as far as 5-6 years ago, it was always optional. It ain't optional no more. I had police call me. Yeah, this is a so-and-so, such and such police. Your car is getting ready to be towed because we're doing construction. If you don't come get it in 15 minutes, I'll be right there. Boom. I had that. They'll say, how you doing, John, Billy? They know where you live. They all know. And this happened to me one time, no, a couple of times, years ago. We're talking, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Chance here except to go back to the 1990s, early 2000s, tinfoil hat kind of lifestyle where you're so off grid that makes you a target. Because the AI that they are building right now not just looks for individuals doing something wrong, it also looks for the people who aren't. And anywhere that it sees a black hole, that's what you will be considered. If you're off grid, you're a black hole. So I'm here on YouTube's first prepper news channel, Full Spectrum Survival, to tell you that you not only need to go a little bit off grid, you also need to consider putting up your defenses in ways that blend in. The gray man tactic on social media. You better be liking your local city, state football teams. You better be talking about your local, voting regimen. You better be talking about all the things that social media and the mainstream want you to talk about. Now, if you only do it once a week and you devote a little bit of time to that, that's as important to your future life as getting to the range and getting some lead downrange. That is as important to your future as stockpiling food. You've got to put up those defenses in ways.
And what does it say in Second Ezra's 15, around about the 58, 59 verse or so? They said they're gonna run out of food and they're gonna commit the act of what do you call it, cannibalism. These preppers, they're gonna run out of food because they're thinking, oh, we'll be up here for 3 months, everything come back to normal. 3 months go by, 6 months go by, a year go by. You run out of food. You can't go into the cities because you're not on the grid. And some of you will be arrested and put in concentration camps. Maybe alligator Alcatraz. The people, 80% of the people got suffering mysterious illnesses. Even some of the guards, they're suffering illnesses. They got a thing now, as of 2-3 weeks ago, you're seeing rabbits with things shooting out of them. Little I don't know what you call them, horns or whatever. But it's coming out of squirrels, deers. It's not just hitting the rabbits. So we don't know, and they're saying it's a virus. They're trying to figure out what the virus is. We don't know if that was made in a lab or whatever. So things are moving fast, man. And you're going to have to make a decision as to what you're going to do. Ultimately, when they present to you the MOTB, the mark of the beast, if you don't take it, you're going to have a hard way to go. Can't pay rent, can't register a car, can't drive a car, can't eat, can't go shopping. Going to be homeless. And now they got laws where if you're homeless, that's a crime. So what are they going to do? They're going to put you in a concentration camp.
Is that any AI looking?
Alligator Alcatraz is a concentration camp.
At you says, oh, he's just another, maybe a little bit right-leaning, maybe a little bit left-leaning kook out there. He's another useful eater. I plan on being a cockroach while all of these AI systems, the Terminators, come after everybody else. So Palantir right here, this is just beginning to be seen as a danger. Federal agencies are now starting to profile, they're starting to neglect, they're starting to use AI in a new enforcement system that will pioneer and proliferate the tools that will track each and every citizen, every visa holder, and every child and person walking through the country.
In Revelation 13 and 16, and he caused us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma, a microchip. And you cannot buy or sell except ye that you have the mark. And that's what GMS was correct. It's correct. And we ain't changed. You, like I said, you guys that teach otherwise, you're going to have to make, the ones of you that follow your leaders, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to, if your leaders say, go ahead and take it, there's nothing wrong with it, we know that they sold out. We know that they're insiders.
Known as AI kill chains, what they do is pull us into, according to these reports, invisible tracking mechanisms that you're not supposed to.
Remember, Trump said before he became president, 45, before he became 45, I believe it was in 2015, he said the visa exit entrance visa tracking system, tracking system, which we need desperately. And what that whole, and that's on YouTube. All I got to do is put it up. It'll come up. A bunch of videos come up of him saying that. And he's talking about these illegal aliens so we can monitor them. So he's pushing them out, and he's going to let them back in, but they're going to have to be monitored. They're going to have to get that chip. You want to make it in this world, you got to get that chip. That's going to be the big game changer. You're gonna praise Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai that the Most High set up GMS. You're gonna praise him. The ones that you've been following decided to get with the GMS or the affiliates. This coming down to the wire. It's here. It's at the door. It's in our lifetime.
Supposed to know anything about these protocols. We'll look at things like schools, your churches, your homes, your jobs. How many days a week do you go to work? It's going to find all these things in a new powerful dragnet that's going to, at first, and here's the ticket, at first it's going to be used for good. But I'm here to warn you that everything that has good intentions can be abused. And as soon as we cross that threshold and start moving into dangerous, tyrannical territory, I'm going to be warning you, giving you that second warning. My first one you just got, chat. My first warning was put up that social media, mainstream media defense mechanism. I'm a football loving. Before that, chat AI just drops some sort of crazy particulate into my air, making me choke on my own words. I'm here to tell you that I'm a football loving freak. I'm a soccer freak, a basketball freak. Actually, you know me. If you've watched long enough, you know what my interests are. Survivalism, preparedness, but on the front end, all the tools that are meant to be out there tracking us are going to see that I heavily love all of these mainstream things. That was my first warning to you. My second warning is going to come as soon as we cross that threshold into tyranny. Shortwave radio stations are stoking new nuclear threats. Now, Russia has been using their apocalypse shortwave radio stations. Shortly after Trump got off of his call with Putin earlier, a radio channel broadcasting from a military base went right into action. 4625 kilohertz on the shortwave dial. You could hear a man's words. Nikolai, Zenya, Tatiana, Ivan, repeating the message spelled out in the Russian phonetic alphabet, followed by a series of numbers and letters. The whole message read NZHTI 01263 Baltanka 44309529. Nobody outside of the Russian nuclear command knows what this meant. Now, this station, dubbed UVB 76, is specialized in sending out apocalypse messages. They're basically giving the okay, the go-ahead, or the holdback for the Russian military to launch their nuclear weapons. And it's sort of a dead man switch. And I want to remind you that the previous president...
Dead man switch, and he's going to go into it. If Putin dies, when he met in Alaska with Trump, if he dies, he chokes on the chicken bone, whatever. They're gonna shoot the missiles off. Dead man switch. Let's look it up. Let's get some more information on that. Let me do it this way. Dead man switch.
According to Wikipedia, a dead man's switch is a switch that is designed to be activated or deactivated if the human operator becomes incapacitated, such as through abandonment, doziness, loss of consciousness, death, or being bodily removed from control.
In the bigger picture, if a president or leader of a country dies, he's in a meeting in another country, he dies, they're going to assume that they poison him, so the switch is going to be hit. The order's going to go out to blast the shit out that country because they killed the president. And he's going to talk about that. Y'all better get with this program, man. This is not, look, the shit's checkers, it ain't the shit's chess, it ain't checkers. Excuse me. A lot of y'all get up there and you go out and speak and you go back and forth with a Christian and a Muslim and all that. Well, hit this precept and hit that precept. And a lot of you people don't even know what you're involved in. Apostle Gabar always says that. A lot of you don't even know what you're involved in, man. We know, we can see it clear as day that everybody on the planet Earth, except for the ones that reject it, and they're going to have a hard way to go, everybody going to get chipped. 95+% of the people on the planet Earth, within the grid, they're going to get chipped. We know that our Lord is coming back with an armada of ships. Anyway.
To the country of Russia, Medvedev, still on the Security Council. He was very out in the open, in which he said, do not forget Russia's dead man switch. And that is to say that if anything happens to Putin, why do you think Putin was so nonchalant about possibly putting a bug in the beast, which is the presidential limousine, but about having the bombers fly overhead? Because he knew that if anything should happen to him, no matter what, whether he's in U.S. security or over in China or anywhere, Russia's dead man switch launches nuclear weapons at each and every enemy of the Russian government. Now, this is in my plans because I know that I'm watching this shortwave broadcast, and as soon as I see a tick come up, I'm going and I'm listening. Not because I'll ever be able to put anything together, but I am categorizing all of these so that maybe one day I'll discover a pattern, or I'll just...
But anyway, you heard it, you know? Let me just check what's going on here. Laser in space, huge beam witnessed flashing across the sky above Ukraine, France, and Germany. What's that all about? Christian admits he's not willing to follow the Savior. Because they're not really Christians anyway. They're just lost souls.
I told you this before. I told you this before. You are not me, so you can't do what I do.
So they're wearing the scripture saying that they're wearing a apostle. So that you have to. They never said they hated each other. Yeah. Did you hear that? He just asked me, do you have to do everything Christ did? This is the difference. Christ died on the cross. Are you going to die on the cross? This is the difference. Christ died on the cross. Are you going to die on the cross? I'll be willing to die on the cross. No, I didn't say willing. Christ died on the cross. Are you going to die on the cross? They don't execute people that way. Brother, you, no, wait. You see? They don't execute people that way. I asked you, do you have to do...
Hey, well, the Lord said to James and John that they're gonna have to drink the cup that he drunk, and they were put to death by the Roman authorities. The Apostle Peter was crucified. Apostle Paul got his head chopped off.
Everything that Christ did, you said yes. Christ died on the cross. Are you gonna die on the cross? Yo, Christianity makes you.
If they give you a choice, you know, if you don't take this chip, we're gonna put you on the cross and crucify you. You don't have to take it. That's why these are not real Christians.
Are you? It makes you weak. It makes you weak. For you to even have in your mind, are you going to do what Christ did? And I responded, yes. He died on the cross. Are you going to die on the cross? Christ said, follow me. Right?
Peter died on the cross. Paul's head was chopped off. John was sentenced to the Isle of Patmos, hard labor. Then you got the rest of the apostles that all got put to death under the authority of the Roman Empire. Now it was during the time when the Apostle Paul got his head chopped off, Peter was crucified. Who was sitting as the emperor at that time? Nero. Nero's back again. Here's Nero again.
Right? So all the things that Christ did, I will have to take. If they execute people on the cross, I'll execute people on the cross. Did Christ die on the cross? Yes. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? That's dumb. That's dumb. They don't execute people that way anymore. What I asked you was, are we asking a stupid question? Oh, you know you're caught. No, because they don't execute people on crosses. Did they execute people on crosses back then? Yes. How do they execute people now? Many different things. Right, they hang them, right? Or
you can hang them, lethal injection, and ultimately the guillotine. They're going to chop your head off. That's Revelation 20, verse 4.
Give them the lethal injection, right? Or the electric chair. Right. Or they'll shoot them, right? That's why you're okay. That's why you're now.
If Yahushua was on the scene at this time, the way they would kill him, they either hit him with lethal injection, firing squad, hanging, whatever, guillotine, whatever.
This is why it's stupid for you. You're equivalent. You're speaking of the cross as if it's so mighty and powerful when it's just a tool. Listen. This is a power, a symbol of power. The Bible says the cross is a symbol of power. Doesn't the cross say that the cross or the Bible, man? The cross. I live by the Bible. You live by
the cross is talking about him being on the cross, the way he died. It's not talking about like people wearing a cross on their neck.
The cross is.
This is like you know what they do? They engage in these stupid arguments that go nowhere. If I was to argue with him, I said, okay, is the Lord 3 in 1? I said, yeah. For argument's sake, yeah. I said, okay, my question is, who did the Lord come to die for? I will keep bringing it back to that question. He came for everybody. No, he did not.
This is execution. Man, I live by the cross. I live by Christ. I live by. And who was on the cross? Who was on the cross? No. You're saying the cross is more important than Christ. I didn't say that. All it is the executioner tool. Was the cross of victory? You understand what you're saying? I do. If they were executing people by the cross today, and they say,
I wouldn't sit there going back and forth. This is a stupid argument. You asked him a question, he said he would. He kept asking him the same question. Leave these fucking Christians alone. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. Leave these Christians alone.
Okay, you're wrong for following Christ, for following the law, following the Bible. All y'all need to execute. They'll take us out, right? God forbid. I doubt that's something.
You can see this is an idiot. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
However, they'll take us out and they'll put us on the cross. All right, they don't execute people that way. I got you. Watch this. I don't see this point that this conversation is really going to church. No, you don't. What I asked you, all right, watch this. What I asked you was, do we have the cross? Bro, I've been respectful this whole time.
Oh, you're being disrespectful because you're here. The fact that you're here is disrespect. When you argue with these Christians, it's like playing basketball with a caveman.
Everything Christ did.
All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
So y'all can watch the rest of this, but I want to go to another. Let me go to this here. This is why you have no business. Okay, this right here. Nutty Christian ignores the Bible and vows to stalk Hebrew Israelites. There's all kinds of precepts come to mind with this. Then I'm going to get ready to close.
Remember you said they got to use another Bible verse to tell you what another Bible verse is saying.
And there was dwelling at Jerusalem devout men out of every nation.
It was devout men from every nation in Jerusalem. Let's see if these was white men, Chinese men, Arab. Let's see if that's what they says. Read.
Hey man, you muddy in the water again.
Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
These were Jews.
Keep reading.
Came from every
Keep reading.
of the earth.
He in Acts 2. He in Acts 2.
When this was going to fraud.
What's there to keep reading? The subject is the Jews, and the adjective are devout. The Jews were devout. So anything after that is talking about the Jews.
The multitude came together.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Why you skip those verses? Oh, heck no.
He didn't quit. He didn't skip any verses.
Skip no verse. We had verse 6. You just lied. Read them.
That every man heard them speak in his own language.
All of these Jews from different languages, different nations, they heard the disciples speaking to them in their language. Let's see where these Jews came from.
It's not just Jews. It's Jews and devout men.
It doesn't say the word "and" is not in there. It says Jews. These were Jews, devout men. Matter of fact, I'll go to it again. I did it before, but I'm gonna go to it. I think it was an NLT. It said devout Jews. I'll show you in a minute. This is why you don't argue with these people, because you get nowhere with them. Paul said in not so many words, in not so many words you find in 1 Corinthians 14, you find them ignorant, leave them ignorant. I'm saying it in my words. Acts 2, and what did he read? Did he read 5? Okay, give me a second here. I believe that's the 5th verse. I'm sorry that I gotta go to the NLT. And they were dwelling at Jerusalem, the Jews, devout men. I'm gonna go to the NLT. I did this before, but I gotta do it again. You explain to these Christians, right, here it is, in NLT. At that time, there were devout Jews from every nation living living in Jerusalem. They came to Jerusalem, but they were living in other nations. And at that time, there were devout Jews from every nation. Yeah, see, Elamites came. These are all Israelites living in these foreign lands. Yeah, as a Christian, what reasons did they come to Jerusalem for? A lot of them don't even know. Okay, let's go from here to okay, now this guy right here, he just has a complete hatred for Israelites, and he's mad at the IUIC, and he's mad at all Israelites, and he's angry. He's like, if he could, he'd kill us, kill all of us. He just has nothing but hate in his heart. Now the scriptures, there's many scriptures where it said there's some precepts that say, let not the sun go down in your wrath, right? There was another one in my mind. There's so many of them. I was thinking of one of them. It escaped my mind. Once I get the word, I'll give you this precept. It says, "Do good to them that constantly abuse you." It says, "Love your enemies." So even if they don't get the truth, you're supposed to love a fellow. As a Christian, you're supposed to love us, even though we're of another nation to you, right? It said this. Now, would this brother apply this? I believe that's in, give me a second. Let me do it this way. How do you spell coals? I believe coals is, it's either coal or coals. Coals, let me go to the New Testament. Here it is. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Let me try this. Do good to them Matthew 5:44, they call the Beatitudes. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. That's all I need. So now let's listen to this guy. So this guy is not even a Christian. He just he knows this. I give him credit. He does know precepts. He does know precepts. He is studied, but Yahweh, he really believes he has the truth. Now I read those scriptures to you. You can go back and read it. I read Romans to you, and I read Matthew 5:44. Right? It said, "Do good to them."
Detroit, and the rest of you Hebrew Israelites in the Metro Detroit area, you're not safe. If I see you outside teaching,
see, he's coming on that worldly street stuff as a Christian. Now, when somebody says that, I take that to mean you're gonna roll up and do harm to that person. But he on a spiritual level, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with this man at all, because he's not even considering. What does it say in Isaiah? My people does not consider. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but my people does not consider. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and read that. It says it's either Isaiah 1 or Isaiah 3. I believe it's Isaiah 3. Isaiah 1. Let's try Isaiah 1. Okay, here we are. Isaiah 1 and 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know, my people does not consider. He doesn't consider that he's an Israelite. You should ask yourself, well, man, I might be an Israelite. Let me, Oh, no. Oh, hell no. We can't be Israelites. Israelites were scattered all over the planet Earth. So anybody can put in a claim that they're Israel, including the small hats. You can put in a claim, come to Israel, come stay with friends, right? You can put in that claim because some of you are. And you got to tell people that. Consider. Let's look up the word consider. To discern, understand, consider. To perceive, discern. To mark, give heed. In other words, study it. Why these, all of a sudden, these black Americans, or whatever, in the Latin tribe, they're all coming into Israel. Let me look into this Bible even further. Remember what Paul did? Paul came against the so-called Christians until Yahweh came to him and said, why dost thou kicketh against the pricks? And that was a fulfillment of John. It was either John 15, the first couple of verses, or John 16, where it said they're going to think to do. Let me go to that. Let me go to John, St. John, John, 15. It's either 15 or 16. I believe it's. No, it's 16. It's 16. Okay, here we go. First verse. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues or the temples. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. Then was not Paul, like when Stephen was killed? Wasn't he there was a young man at his feet, and that young man was named Saul, that became Paul. So Paul was killing Christians because he was set up as a chief police officer, for lack of a better word. He was set up by the what do you call it? The ones that sit on Moses' seat. These corrupt individuals. So he was set up to get him, to bring him in there, bring charges against him, until Yahweh actually came to him. So he said he thought they're going to kill you thinking that they're doing the Most High service. But you got to go back to Isaiah 1 where it says you got to consider, you don't even consider that you're an Israelite. So there's nothing that you can say with this guy. This guy got nothing but hate in his heart, and he's definitely not of the elect, lest he repent. The Spirit is not dealing with him. Nobody should have a debate with him. No Israelite should have a debate with Christian. If you're a Christian, we do not have debates. We don't want to talk to you because it goes absolutely nowhere. The blitz that Bishop Nate said we're gonna do a blitz of all these, however many churches they went to, they didn't get one person to come out of that church. So it's a waste of time. Most I didn't tell you to go to those churches.
Your lives. I'm pulling up on you.
He sounded like I think he was in the prison system. Then he found Jesus. He said, wherever you at, I'm pulling up on you. So he's coming worldly, man.
I'm not signing no autographs, and we ain't doing none of that. Oh, this the fucking Hebrew Israelites from TikTok. We ain't doing all that. Just know when you see me coming, I got debunking you guys on my mind. It ain't a grocery store. It's not a shoe store. It's not a river walk. It ain't nowhere you could be safe from me. If I find out you in the city teaching your lies to people, I'm pulling up on you.
Where's that in the scriptures? Where did Yahweh keep, messing with the scribes and the Pharisees? Matthew 10, I always go to that. If they don't accept your peace, then shake the dust and move on. Didn't say keep rolling up on them. Keep pulling up. Yahweh and the disciples kept pulling up. They didn't pull up. They didn't want to be bothered with the wicked scribes and Pharisees. When was the last time they asked Yahushua a question, and he asked them a question about the son of David? Who's the son of David? What does that mean? They didn't have an answer, and they never came. He didn't say, well, now let's go get after them. That didn't happen. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua is not dealing with this dude at all, period. And if he doesn't, if he's not of the elect, he's not going to repent. And if he doesn't repent, he's going to take the chip, and he's going to die right here in America. Then he's going to have to come back as an Israelite.
And you can't edit your videos enough to make me stop talking about we love when Christians pull up. When I pull up, you don't love it.
No, I don't love when Christians come up because it's nothing but confusion. The scriptures say Yahweh is not the author of confusion. So I don't want Christians to come. They're going to come with the same old little two arguments.
Contending for the faith is something that you don't want to do. Just move to the side, because I'm going to rebuke sharply, and I'm going to continue with the Bible, because we got to stop the liars.
Okay, I'll hear a little bit of this. Let you hear a little bit of this, and then I'm going to close.
Praise to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Shalom to the hopefully elect. All right, and this video is going to be entitled Nutty Christian Ignores the Bible and Vows to Stalk Hebrew Israelites. Nutty Christian ignores the Bible and vows to stalk Hebrew Israelites. All right. And this is dude, Dwayne, Dwayne, what do you call himself? Dwayne preached the word, which he's a bugged out Christian. And a lot of these people have become like this. These Christians are now, they think that they're going to ignore, they're going to annoy us to death. Because that's all they're trying to do is confront, going up.
Which something that the Yahushua would never do. You said that. Shake the dust and move on.
The camps trying to confront brothers, right? Trying to convince us and really just trying to bring confusion. And that's what this dude did. I put a video on there that was done by the brother Howard Shah Zion from GMS, Pennsylvania. He did a video on this asshole last week. And he went up to an IUIC camp. Him and this other light-skinned fruity nigga, they went up there. And basically, you can see what his strategy is. He just gonna yell, he gonna make mockery, he gonna make noise. Then he don't understand the scriptures like that. You see, and this dude that had debates with the Genesis Israelites and all of that, but yet that's still not enough for him. He think he's using the word contend. Really, he means he just gonna be a damn annoyance, a nuisance. He's gonna stalk Hebrew Israelites. You heard his message. But in this video right here, he came up and it's just like the easiest things with these Christians. They're going to accuse us of not reading in context. And what they're really going to do is just say everything that we say, they're going to say it's the opposite. When we read Isaiah 28 about precept upon precept, he said that ain't what it means. You read in Acts 2, right? Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven, he going to say that ain't what it's talking about. It's talking about all different kinds of people. You see? That's why it's really just a good idea to just fucking ignore these punk ass Christians, and you brothers out there, if this dude roll up on your camp, just have brothers, if you got brothers in the camp, have brothers form a wall between you and this dude, like we used to do. 3 or 4 brothers come out and get in front of the main speakers and turn your backs to this dude.
Or leave, go someplace. If there's nobody out there, if you accept him, just leave and go someplace else or call the cops on the guy.
Dwayne. Right? And make a wall. So if you want to stand back there behind brothers, basically we just gonna form a circle and he gonna be outside of the circle. He ain't gonna be able to get to the main speaker. Really, if you deal at all. Cause that dude is just a damn. All right, Salakia, pardon that interruption. So anyway, let's get on with the video. I don't want to make this too long or nothing like that. These damn trash. Excuse me. Damn trash truck. They picking up the trash late tonight. And it's making all kinds of racket. Now, I also wanted to say, too, that I made it back from Detroit. All right, I, had an opportunity to fellowship with those brothers in the Detroit camp, to teach with them. The brothers showed great hospitality. The Water GMS Detroit, I made it back safe. All right, so that's it. Anyway, I'm saying that's it as far as me making it back, and I'm back in South Carolina safely. All praise to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua for that. So I looked at this word nutty, because that's part of the title, right? You hear people use this
Nutty.
word often. Right, that's what this dude Dwayne is now. It says tasting like nuts, no, not like that. But in in definition 2, mad or crazy. Another word is mad, insane, certifiable, deranged, demented, out of one's mind. This dude Dwayne, and a lot of them Christians are like that. You act in this, you're enraged by us teaching the word. You act like, like we don't have the right to teach the word. We got the right to teach the gospel. We don't have to talk to you. He said, this right here says, what does it mean when someone is nutty? When someone is nutty when someone is described as nutty, it usually means they are being informally silly, strange, or foolish, though in some contexts, it can also imply they are mentally unsound or eccentric. You see? And you know what it means. It's nutty. Just a nutty, like a nut, a mentally insane, not right in the head ass individual. And that's what this dude Dwayne come off as. Dwayne preached the word. He desperate. You Christians are so damn desperate. Number one, you like coming around us because you learning the Bible. Now that you learned a little bit, what you was never doing before, you think you're gonna take what you learned from us and you're gonna defeat us with it. That shit ain't gonna work, man. And at the end of the day, really, this the way this dude talk, one of these other groups, they might mess around and do something to this guy, man, because he's just gonna keep coming around. He fancies himself as some type of, the scripture's so good, like we teaching lies. Nigga, you don't know the Bible, man. Shut the hell up.
He doesn't know, none of these Christians know prophecy. I can ring off of Jeremiah, none of them know Jeremiah, Isaiah, none of them, Revelation, none of them know they couldn't tell you what Genesis 1:1 means when it says God. God created the heavens and the earth. They couldn't tell you who the God is. Couldn't tell you that. They don't know. Anyway, shalom, on to the next shalom.